Hey guys, and welcome to my channel, TimeIsButaWindow. Now recently my channel was hacked. After hacking it, he renamed the channel Zafarmasomans. Though I'm not entirely sure why he hacked the channel in the first place because he didn't really do anything with it other than change the name. Still though, I had to go through a lot to get it back, and I believe that viewer support helped me out a ton during this. YouTube does not make it easy to get back an account. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what happened and how I believe I got hacked, as well as what I did to recover the account. So how did I end up getting hacked in the first place? Well, I guess the simple answer is that I'm an idiot. As you guys know, I don't really do sponsorships, not usually, but this was an opportunity that seemed pretty interesting to me. As you guys know, I'm into shooters, and Far Cry 6 seems like a fun game to try out for an hour. Now honestly, I would have just done this for the demo, but look at the price of the minimum bids. And yeah, I know I'm not censoring anything, but screw this guy. Don't download anything this guy sends you unless you want to get hacked. So obviously I was very interested in this, so the first thing I did was check out the email. And as far as I could tell, the email was legitimate. Except that people can technically mask the email. Either way, this is the first mistake that I made. Instead of just emailing creators at ubisoft.com talking about this, I ended up using the phone number that was given and talking on WhatsApp. Obviously the conversation went well, in fact it went a little bit too well, and he said he would email me the demo and pre-roll footage. The email came in the next day from no reply at ubisoft.com, and I looked that up online and it looked like it was legitimate. Obviously, since I had never taken a sponsorship before, I was going into this pretty blind and just trying to check as best I could. As you can see in the middle there, it says download, so I downloaded the file. Now, something I did notice that seemed off to me is when I downloaded it, it didn't seem to download straight off the Ubisoft server. After all, you would think a company as big as Ubisoft would have their own servers you would download from. And let's be honest, Ubisoft does. And just so I don't get sued by Ubisoft, this most likely means that I was not dealing with Ubisoft. In hindsight, this was a pretty big clue that I managed to ignore. Either way, before I knew it, I had downloaded the zip file. It was pretty decent in size, a little bit under 1 gigabyte, which is small for a game, but to be completely honest, I wasn't too surprised because I thought it would include the launcher and of course the video file. Now obviously, I'm not going to download it again and show you guys the actual file. Honestly, I'm a little bit worried just re-accessing those emails to show you those because I'm worried that might get me hacked as it is. Either way, when I downloaded the RAR file, it had a few different things inside. It had a couple promo pictures, and it had what looked like was a video file, but no game launcher. Still though, I just figured that they may have misunderstood and sent me what was needed for the pre-rolls rather than the full gameplay video. So I opened up Vegas 15 and dragged that file over. After all, if I do this, maybe I can establish a good repertoire with them and get the file later. Or so I thought. But for some reason, the file just wasn't showing up in Vegas. And that's when I looked deeper and found that it was an SCR file masked as an MP4 file. So I went back over to the RAR file to see the SCR file vanish before my very eyes. So immediately I quickly Googled that shit. And I found that it was a virus. What kind of virus? Well, it was ransomware. Now, typically this is done to hold someone's computer hostage until someone pays a ransom. In this case, however, I guess they wanted to hold my channel hostage. And I figured I didn't want to mess around with that too badly, so immediately I shut down my computer and reformatted completely. And I thought that was the end of that, because after that, I heard nothing and had no issues for the next 2 weeks. When suddenly, after finishing one of my videos, I went to my site and found that the name had changed. Not only that, when I went to my email account, I found that they had created a Gmail and transferred the account over to their Gmail, deleting my original Google account completely. So it was time to go to YouTube support, but you would be surprised how difficult it is to actually retrieve a hacked account. See, basically it just links you to this area right here. There's no phone number or any actual way to get in contact with them. Instead, it tells you to go to the recovery thing. The only problem is because he deleted the account completely after transferring it to his account that it didn't exist. So whenever I'd put in my Google account name, it'd say there was no Google account by that name. And of course, I knew if I simply just remade that account, it wouldn't be linked to any YouTube account. But now I was in a predicament. As far as I could tell, there was no way to contact YouTube. They didn't have a phone number listed on support, and of course they didn't have an email listed. Now it is true that bigger channels have a button on their page where they can chat with creator support. Sadly, with my account gone, I did not have a channel big enough to actually have this option. And funny enough, even though I do have my channel back now with 130,000 subscribers, I still don't have this option. so I'm gonna have to see if I can get that fixed. YouTube, please fix. But I wasn't out of ideas just yet. After all, YouTube and Google have to have headquarters, right? So I looked up the number, but all I got was automation. Press this number for this, press that number for that. Then at the end, no matter which way I'd press the buttons, it would always say to just go to the YouTube support page online. So after hours of going through this over and over again, trying to talk to a real person, I gave up and went back to the support page. I googled what the hell I could possibly do, and all I found was a YouTube forum. After going through a few forum posts where people said that they got hacked, one of them they actually replied to and seemed to help them out. So I figured it was a long shot, but it was better than nothing, so I made a post. At this point, I was just racking my brain trying to come up with any other way I could contact YouTube. That's when it occurred to me, wait a second, everyone uses Twitter nowadays. There's gotta be a Twitter page I can contact them on. But as I messaged all the ones listed in front of you, none of my messages would go through. So I gave up and decided to just wait for the forum post. Feeling defeated, I made a Twitter post to all of my followers. After all, I had been working on this all day and had gotten nowhere with it. But that's when my followers started replying with @TeamYouTube. Now I'm not gonna lie, this was a Twitter I didn't even know about, and I definitely don't remember seeing it on the support pages. But a few hours later, after being spammed by my followers, they actually messaged me. So seriously, I need to thank you guys for that, because without this, I don't know if I'd ever have gotten my account back. So anyways, after talking to them, they asked for a Google account that I had. They said they would upgrade this account to a creator account for the next 72 hours. Then they gave me a form to fill out for hacked accounts, but you'd need to have at least a creator account to access it, which was the entire purpose of them upgrading the account. Now I filled it out, but came up with one small problem. I needed to find the original URL of the channel, but since I had a custom URL as TimeIsButaWindow, I couldn't find it easily. So after thinking about it for a little bit, I realized I could use inspect elements to find the original URL. Once I got that, I was able to finish the form and put in my email, and I got emailed by YouTube support. And with that, I was finally talking to a real person. This allowed me to explain the situation in detail. Then I answered a couple questions and took a couple pictures of myself to prove that I was who I said I was. Trust me, when you're as ugly as me, it's pretty hard to fake. After that, it was just a matter of waiting, and it took about a week for them to retrieve my account. And that's how my account TimeIsButaWindow got hacked, and I got my account back. So what have I learned from all this? Well, for one, I think I need a manager if I'm going to take any sponsorships, because I am way too big of a dumbass. And second of all, if your account does get hacked, immediately get on Twitter and contact Team YouTube, because aside from that, I'm not sure how else you're going to go about contacting a real person. Honestly, guys, it was a pretty alarming situation, and I really did think I was going to lose the account forever, especially after seeing how few of those forum posts actually got any help. But now that I have the channel back, you can expect more content coming soon. Anyways, guys, I can't thank you enough for the support. Without that, I probably wouldn't have gotten the channel back. I'm lucky enough to have as big of a following as I do, where you guys were able to contact them for me. But I know there's a lot of people out there that definitely aren't as fortunate, and that is one of the reasons I'm making this video. That way, at least people will know in the future where they can go about contacting YouTube and getting help. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you all again.